One time, we successfully mated a bulldog with a Shih Tzu.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
Okay, is this guy just making it up as he goes? Yep. Is it all BS? Yep. Here's Big Nate with some more BS, because it's BSing with Big Nate.
The track You Can't Save Everybody. And I am joined, of course, by some friends on the other coast, Owls and Aliens. Guys, how are you doing?
We're good.
Very well. Very well.
All right. So first and foremost, I want to talk about that track, and then we're going to dig into some other things. There's also an excellent music video to go with it. And if you are watching this live, maybe take a second, pause, go watch the video, because there's a lot of power. It's a fantastic damn video. Made me really miss skateboarding.
Yeah.
I don't know if that did that for you guys, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
That whole '90s feel where you're always on a skateboard.
I used to skate there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about the track. I want to talk about the video, and I want to talk about the background on everything. I think first and foremost, the place to start is the track itself, because without that, there would be no video. This is not, it's like nailing Jello to a tree. There's not any one part of the track that you can pinpoint as being one thing. It feel like you guys have taken influences from a bunch of places, and you guys pretty much say that in your bio and press releases, that you guys all have varying music influences and you kind of pull them together. And I think it really works very well. But I want you to go ahead and try and marginalize yourselves.
Well, with this riff, Travis wrote just the main riff, and we just kind of built around it.
Yeah, he showed
And,
it. He showed it to him in his grandma's basement.
Yeah.
And apparently he had that riff for like years.
Yeah, Travis wrote that riff when he was a teenager, I guess.
Yeah, like that first thing that you hear in the very beginning of the song, just that guitar riff. And he didn't really think much of it until he showed it to Dustin, and Dustin was like, "No, dude, we can
Yeah,
do something with this."
Yeah, I saw a lot of potential in it, and we just kind of built around it. And then Dakota really added that punk beat for the chorus, and then it really came together when we had the halftime breakdown part towards the end after the solo.
Yeah.
And then Jeff just throws his Van Halen thing over the top of it, which is,
Yeah, talk about your experience.
My experience with that's definitely different, just like my musical influences. Yeah, that's how it came together. That's how it was brought to me. And I struggled with it for a while because I'm like, oh my God, this sounds like punk rock, and like this is really gonna be difficult for me to put my heart and soul into it if I can't play that way. So I finally threw a little fit and was like, I hate the song. And they're like, just agree to disagree that this is why the band works, is because we're different. Just take your time adding what you feel you should do to it. And Travis and I just did that. We took our time with it, played it a bunch of times, felt it out, and I finally felt what I should do with it.
Yeah.
You know? So, and that's how I pretty much enjoy playing the song now.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask, do you still hate the song?
No, absolutely not. I love the song. It's a lot of fun to play because when you to develop a song, you got to put it in it. You know, you got to put the hot sauce all over it there. You know, so when you play it, you can tell if you're not, putting the hot sauce on there. So you got to go first the whole time. So every time I play it, it's full force. It feels good. It's fun. And it feels like the first time we agreed that was the way it should go. So
I think you guys have a lot of power here. I mean, there's this and there's Marcy, and they both kind of just hit. To me, and maybe it's just my musical background, I'm drawing a lot of like more aggressive Sonic Youth and like a lot of Blood Brothers. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Blood Brothers, but it's just very aggressive, in your face, but there's also like so much going on that like each time I listen, I pick up on something different.
Yeah, cool.
awesome.
And I mean, that could be construed a lot of ways, but what I'm saying is like there's something every time, like it's a repeat listen track for me. It's like, hold on, I got to really focus on the guitars on this time.
Yeah.
I really got to focus on the bass. Like let's really flesh this out. It's very full.
Yeah,
And-
it's a lot of different stuff put together, really.
I think you can go really badly with that, like a fruitcake. But I think what you guys kind of have going is a very well produced casserole. That's a terrible analogy I've just landed on here.
It's like a combination pizza, right? You got like sausage. and
Supreme.
got
What you
vegetables.
guys have is a Supreme track.
There you go.
There we go. It's a Supreme pizza, and
Got meat, veggies, cheese, sauce, all of it.
so I kind of want to dig into the background and how Owls and Aliens kind of came to be, because you guys have all very much so kind of different, varied music backgrounds.
Right.
This is when I really miss Travis, because the other day he goes, guys, next time we get asked that question, I know exactly what to say. I know
We're
exactly
basically a Klamath Falls super group of leftover bands that finally got together.
I'm just an import.
So,
I fell off the potato truck a few years ago and landed here.
how did we come together, Nick?
Little bag of food.
Well, one day I was working a strip club and I got called in for a personal story. And when I got to the personal appointment, it was just these guys, and they threw a bass in my hands. We're like, "You're our bassist now."
We figured it's a good Craigslist ad,
Yeah,
That's actually a lie.
Yeah, that's not.
That is
that's
a
not-
bold-faced
it's
lie.
a long story. It has to do with
Nice track.
You said you had it right.
I don't know. We kind of
Well, I can tell.
just got thrown together piece by piece.
Yeah, it was a lot of moving parts, a lot of individual things. Where like I met Dustin through my old college band, and that's kind of how Jeff had met me as
Yeah,
well.
I moved here a few years ago in 2016 because I'm from the Salem area originally, and I lived here when I was a kid. So I basically moved here to start fresh over, but I didn't have any friends or anything. I was new to town, so I'd go to the bars and go see his band play, and
Yeah.
I loved the way they played. And Nick used to sit outside because he didn't have
Yeah, I
an
was a
ID.
street performer.
He wasn't allowed in.
Yeah, he
Right.
wasn't allowed in. So I would once when I came out to smoke or whatever I was doing, I'd go and sit with Nick and then play a song, and then I'd go back inside and then go see him jam,
Yeah.
and
And then the garage shows helped bring it all together because Dustin used to hold these little things called the garage show.
And he would invite all the musicians in town, and it'd be like an open mic night for all the musicians just kind of sit there and
barbecue,
show each other
food,
material,
beer,
just
always good vibes, no negativity.
kind of network in a way,
Yeah,
set up
just hang out.
shows.
But,
all sorts of cool stuff.
When Box Brothers ended, Dakota's band, he was gonna leave town, but then he ended up staying, and then he hit me up to start a band, and I immediately thought of Jeff and Travis, who I'd known from the garage shows,
Yeah,
and then I knew Nick as well, but
But yeah,
it
Nick
all
got
just got thrown together pretty quick.
Yeah, we just
Nick
got
was the final piece.
I
Yeah,
met
I lived
Travis,
next
yeah.
door to this guy, and one day he invited me over to the band practice, and when I got there, I was like watching them jam, and I was like astounded. I was like, "Do you guys have something I could play?" And they had this really
crusty, bass.
crusty
That's a
old
good
bass,
It still
in
is
the back,
crusty.
and
Yeah.
it just was horrible.
Hey, but you played
I
it?
played it.
And
I
we
played it.
showed him the chord changes and he figured it out, and that's when we
We knew he played
romanticized-
guitar.
Yeah.
That's when our first song came together.
Yeah, Romanticized the Sorrow was done that day.
That
So-
day.
So now I gotta ask, had you played any bass previous to that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I can play like any instrument. You put
The way
like-
that story just came out, I was like, yeah, we had this guy, he just wanted to play something, and usually it'd be like, yeah, here's a tambourine. So I wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I
When you
knew he
play
was.
So
a-
you don't sound like you've never played it before, but hell if I know.
No, he's definitely developed over the
Yeah, I
time.
can
for
play.
sure.
I can play anything from a piano to
Kazoo.
kazoo. Yeah,
He's a great kazoo player.
I'm a great kazoo player.
A kazooist.
That's a rare talent. I read a
Playa.
I would say Nick was a guitarist, but now, like
Now
when he
he's a bassist.
started, and now he is actually a bassist.
He's very, very good at it now.
how is he at the recorder?
Oh,
Oh my god!
Amazing. I'm actually really good with wind flutes.
It
and stuff,
breaks every
but
time.
I'm terrible at the skin flute.
Oh yeah.
You know, some people have a talent for it, some people don't. I do also kind of want to get the background on you can't save everybody in the mindset of both the song and the video. So I do want to ask lyrically, emotionally, what kind of place is this song coming from?
Well, You Can't Save Everyone was basically about cutting someone off that you've been trying to help for so long in order to maybe this person's drained you, a relationship or a friendship or whatever, and you reach a breaking point where you kind of have to let them do it themselves, basically. That's what the song was originally about.
So that's what it was originally about. Of course, at the end of the video, there is that message. Did
Right.
the message of the song change, or
no, I wouldn't say the message of the song change. I think with any song that anyone writes, everyone's going to take a different experience and a different, feeling and a different understanding, and they get a little bit something different out of it, including us, including the members ourselves.
Yeah.
And one thing that really impacted us was when we shot that music video the day before my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and she's like, I have to have surgery tomorrow, and she lives in a different city, but it's not that far away. So I was kind of like, do I cancel? Because we've had this plan for months, and this is like the only day we have to shoot. This guy's traveling from Portland. We can't really reschedule. Plus, the weather's going to get bad where we live after this. It's late October. So, but my mom, wanted us to do it. She was, and kind of what happened during that journey of us was I had this realization that, there's really nothing you can do yourself. Like, you get put in a situation where you want to save somebody, and it kind of goes, whether that's through, like in my situation or in Dustin's situation, like how he was talking about, at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do to help them or save them. No. And in fact, the more that you try, the actually worse it's going to drain you and that other person as well. And so it's kind of just like getting through that acceptance and understanding the video and the coincidence, the timing of the song. It just was kind of like,
Confetti on the cake.
yeah,
No, I feel like there is a lot of power there, and that there was a lot of emotion that kind of was able to be, pent up frustration, anxiety. Like, it very much shows that there's a lot of passion there, and kind of knowing the background on the video shoot and in that story. I feel like more than anything else, that probably helped you more than anything.
yeah, it did.
No, and I think there's a lot of power. What was the video shoot process like? Of course, you mentioned it was late October. What is booking that, producing it, editing? What all went into that?
You do it.
All right. Well, basically, so I had seen some, music videos done by this guy named Scotty up in Portland, Separating the Seas and Not a Shark, and I can't remember, a couple other bands, kind of like from Oregon as well, that had, that were new and upcoming, and I really liked his style of video shoot, so I just hit him up, and he's like, yeah, I travel, I can come down to you, and I showed him the song, and he's like, I'd love to do a video, and I kind of gave him just a broad idea. We basically like, well, I want to go shoot the skate park. Over in that area, there's some really pretty hills that we can go do some really cool scenes in, and it was just kind of a loose agenda. And I was like, we kind of want to give you the creative, what's the word I'm looking for?
Creative
Freedom. Yeah, creative freedom to
do whatever if you want.
what you think in the moment. And so that's
And
kind
we
of
piece it all together.
Creative control.
There's a shot in the video where there's like a cop holding a flashlight. It was because we were underneath this overpass.
tunnel.
Yeah,
Tunnel
so it's
scene.
like this tunnel underneath this overpass, and we were
Full of poop.
it was full of poop. And we were like, we started at one end of the tunnel where all the poop was, and
Yeah.
we work our way back.
That
That's
is
why it
cool.
kind of seems like we're fighting to get to the end. you know?
He's like, slow down.
Yeah.
Oh, we were
Where the
shooting.
light's coming from is
It
where
smelled
the poop
terrible.
is. It was yucky.
The police showed up luckily after we got
Yeah,
all
the
the shots
police
we
showed
needed.
up, and they were
Poopy
like,
kids again.
we're just making sure that no one's like doing graffiti or messing around out here or anything.
Yeah, looking back at how smooth everything
No one's doing graffiti.
Which we were.
Which we were.
Yeah. and
Everybody go watch the tape.
Yeah.
Watch the video. No one's doing graffiti.
My hand was covered in spray paint. I kept my hands behind my back. I was just like,
Oh yeah.
The cop was really cool. He's like,
It was really cool.
this
about
is a
it.
cool spot for a video. So, but you got to go now.
yeah.
We just kind of like pieced it all together. Yeah.
Did he tell you to not come back tomorrow?
No, he didn't care at all. He was like, no, you guys are fine. You can stay longer if you need. And we were like, we're actually fine. It was cool.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, we've seen that. I do have to ask, where does one find such a great shark mask?
Dustin's garage.
I think I got that at Fred Meyer here, which is just, a grocery store.
The cool thing about it, though, was the guy that shot it, Scotty, he was in a band called Not a Shark. So, the irony there.
Yeah, I mean that's flawless. What are you guys working on now?
We are headed to Austin, Texas to finish our full album here in like 2 weeks.
We all gave
Yeah,
up our jobs.
That's right. I did. I meant to mention that. You guys kind of got what halfway through, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Scotty,
No,
no,
Sean.
Sean Stack relocated from Sacramento to Austin. So he rebuilt his whole studio, and we're gonna go down there.
We're gonna follow him.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gonna be
Follow
awesome. We can't
to
wait.
get it done.
2
Now,
weeks.
do you guys have a timeline in mind, or are you just kind of trying to make this happen?
No, so it's happening. We have dates set. So we leave on September 9th. We're going to be gone for 3 weeks. 2 of those weeks we'll be recording with Sean full time.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
We'll probably release a few singles before the new year, and then have the full album out early next year. That's what I think will happen.
Well, there's a lot to look forward to. Owls and Aliens, gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and we're going to be keeping an eye out.
thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Rock and roll.